Hello and welcome to the tennis. Race to the finish. Can Alcaraz hold on for year-end world number one? Can Coco kick the yips? Gauff attempting to rekindle the flame in Beijing and shaping up for Shanghai. Will Djokovic meet Sinner in a semi-final? That's all ahead with me. I am Brie Stewart. Zave is not here today because he is on holidays again. So I have a very capable co-host with me today. It is Matt Trollope from our sister podcast, The Sit Down.
Thanks for trusting me, Brie.
I know.
Good to be back.
It's good to have
you. And the rest of the team.
I love it when we do this together. Then we have the man who spins numbers into golden stories. It's Levi Huddleston.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
It's very nice, very evocative, isn't it?
And back by popular demand, Aussie tennis legend turned commentator, we've got John Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Brie. I think you're stretching the truth there. Popular demand? Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Gee, I'm missing something.
Yeah, I'll send you the YouTube comments. They've been asking for you. But it's great to see you. What have you been up to?
I've been just welcoming
stuff?
more grandchildren into the world.
my God,
Yeah, it's been
more.
a busy time for my family. So we're all pretty excited. 3 grandsons in two and a quarter years.
Wow. That's good male
Yeah.
gene producing.
I didn't know there was such virility in my family genes. You know? We're pretty happy. It's been a joy,
Congrats.
real joy.
I bet you're a great grandfather.
Oh, depends who you ask.
Okay, good. There's some
I'd
goss
like to
there.
think
We'll
so.
find it soon. And Levi, you're famous for data storytelling, apparently. What's the key to a good story?
Wow, not a lot of faith in that, Brie. I think probably most of it comes in like, do you have the data or not? And then
Yeah.
there's like maybe the interest in the subject matter. You have to have that passion for it, I think.
And obviously you do, or you're just here for fun, crunching the numbers.
I think I really do enjoy tennis. Yeah,
Yeah,
You're a very
great.
passionate tennis fan and player.
I do like to play. I think that's where it stems from.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Well, lucky you work here. We've got tennis courts in our backyard. That's
hard
perfect for
to
you.
get after 5 p.m. though. You got to really
Yeah, true.
be close on that book button.
Yeah, I actually saw you walking to play the other day. I was like, oh, there he goes, off into the distance with his racket. Anyway, let's get into what's caught your eye. And we're going to start with you, Fitzy, because I believe you're talking a little bit about Alcaraz's historic season.
Well, what a player he's turning
I
out to
know.
be. You know, gee, it's hard to believe we've got two very similar potential players in Sinner and Alcaraz after we had so long with the top 3.
Yeah.
And he continues to improve. You know, I'm a big believer in sport and other things that if you don't improve, you go backwards.
Yeah.
If you stay the same, you go backwards. So he is continuing to improve. His game's getting better. I mean, that US Open, he played some extraordinary stuff at the US Open, and he's having the biggest year, obviously, in his young career.
Yeah.
Hey, he's got a lot of years to go yet before you can really – you can compare him to the other 3 for a smaller window.
Yeah.
Because he's as good as they were at the beginning of his career, but he's got a long way to go. Longevity will play the biggest role in this, but how good is he? And he's won 8 tournaments now in 1 calendar year.
Amazing.
First time he's done it, yeah. Some of them have been Masters Series. I mean, Monte Carlo, Rome. He's obviously won Roland Garros, and he won the US Open as well. So a year that he will never forget, and I don't know, that gives you leverage to change your hairstyle. I wish I had that leverage.
Did you guys see the hedgehog that someone gifted
Yes,
him?
in China, so, and he
No,
loved
I
it.
did
It
not.
looks just like his hair. It has like
Does
kind of
it?
spiky silver hair.
Yes.
And he just started cracking up. It was funny
Oh,
to
my
see.
God.
Yeah.
And he is such a good character in tennis, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because he's 23 at the moment. Is that right?
22.
So he's potentially got 17 years left to go to reach where Novak's at. Well, when you think about it like that, Novak, who's still playing at 39,
Yes. It's, I think
wild.
that's
That
always
actually
been the
blows
wildest.
my mind a bit.
It is mind-blowing to watch them when they played in the US Open semi-final. I know they played a lot of Grand Slam matches, but you have to remind yourself sometimes, oh, you've got this 22-year-old playing someone who's 16, almost 17 years older than him. The intergenerational clash between them is amazing. It's amazing, actually, that Djokovic is still around to face Alcaraz and Sinner. But it is, I think you just go, oh, they're 2 top players playing each other. But Novak's not far away from being double his age. That's incredible. Like, I always think that's a really cool plot line whenever they do play. But what you said, Fitzy, too, as well, he is so talented and he is improving. And I think one of the things he's improved the most is his consistency and how he doesn't have dips anymore. Because when he first came onto the scene. He had all that talent. He could play all the shots. His upper level was great, but then he, there was the inconsistency within matches or from tournament to tournament. And now he's only lost twice since April.
Yeah.
Like, he's so locked in. He barely dropped a set at the US Open. It was his most efficient way of getting through. And I think that's what's taken him to the next level.
Yeah, I think 2 years ago I had not doubts, but I thought he's so he loves using flair so much. He tries all sorts of amazing sort of shot selections, and I thought, gee, that'll cost him matches as time goes on, because how can you put all those? How can you try all of that? Those different types of approaches to the sport and not make more mistakes than someone who's a bit like Sinner, who's more solid, if I may say that. Meaning he hits the ball the same way repetitively, but he does it so well. So that's where his strength is. But the flair that this kid has, Alcaraz, is extraordinary. And I thought it would hold him back a little bit in big matches because he'd make too many mistakes, Matt. But now, just as you said, he's cut out a lot of those errors. He's still able to use his flair and all of the variety that he's got, but he's not making mistakes.
Yeah.
It's working all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, on that, you can just look at the numbers and he's making more winners and less unforced errors if you compare year and year. So, yeah, he's like, it's not just what you think, it's like, it's actually there in the data as
I'm
well.
glad to have backup on that.
I know, isn't it good?
Because it feels like a perception. You watch and you go, you feel it, but when the numbers reflect it, and his increased serving as well, that has just made him clicking through service games, it sets and it gives him easy, weaker returns, and he can finish points faster, and it all builds from the serve.
Yeah, all of that gives me joy as a tennis admirer and someone who cares about the sport. But what I really like at the end of the day is how much he and Sinner both respect the sport.
Yeah.
Gee, I love that. And so therefore they're going to be good for the sport for a long period of time.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of miles to go yet.
Yeah, they've got
I mean,
17
to
years.
catch up with Djokovic, to still be playing at that age, Novak's
still
age,
can't
is
believe that.
extraordinary in itself. So there's no guarantee that these two younger players will still
We'll
be
make
playing
it.
at that age.
That's the thing that I keep thinking about. And I kind of want to talk about, and I think this starts to get into what caught your eye too, Matt. Obviously, Alcaraz has pulled out of Shanghai because of some potential injury with his ankle. And then I think, Matt, this kind of segues into what caught your eye with where we at with the runners, the list.
The race.
The race, not the runners, the race.
But they are runners in the race to year-end number one. So they have elevated themselves, Sinner and Alcaraz, so far above the rest of the field. They've split the four majors this year as they did last year. And so now it's looking like who will finish the year number one. Last year it was Sinner.
Oh, we've got it up on the screen.
We've got it up on the screen. So it looks... So
for our listeners at home, Matt will explain it.
So Alcaraz is now number one. He took over the number one ranking from Sinner after winning the US Open. Interestingly, I think it was 2 years since Alcaraz had been number one. But so yes, very close in the points race there. But what the points race reflects is actually the last 52 weeks of tennis. So Sinner... remains very close to Alcaraz because of what he did at the back end of 2024. I think won the ATP finals. He won Shanghai, which is underway this week. If we flip to the race, so we see that Alcaraz is a lot further in front. The race is calculated on points earned from the beginning of the season, so 2025 alone. So this is where we see what you were talking about, Fitzy. Alcaraz's 8 titles, 10 finals, has been the dominant player and is 2,500 points clear of Sinner. But with Alcaraz pulling out of Shanghai this week, Sinner has an opportunity to close that gap. If he wins Shanghai, he wins 1,000 points. And so that gap will close to 1,500 points. And then, a few more tournaments to play for that battle for year number one. Paris Masters, ATP finals, a few more 500. So a lot has to go right for Sinner. But this gives us a bit of a look of where they are currently standing. Alcaraz in pole position to finish year number one, but he hasn't got it locked in.
No, but this race to Turin list is more significant in terms of who will finish at number one at the end of the year. So he's got a big gap. He's got 2,500 points there. Jannik is defending, so his 52-week rotating ranking is a lot closer to Carlos, but he's got to defend a win in Shanghai and a win at the year-end championships to stay the same on that other list. So. Yeah. And if you can imagine, Carlos, if he does well at the year-end championships, he's going to be very hard to stop.
Yes, and this list actually is this is the race, as it says on the tab, the race that you're in. This will determine the 8 the 8 finalists at the year-end championships. It's an 8-player tournament. Sinner and Alcaraz have already confirmed their places in the field. Zverev is next in line, and Djokovic, they're actually on very equal points. And Lorenzo Musetti in 8th place now to get that final spot. So this is what's really also interesting at this time of year is like who's going to claim those final spots. They're trying to get into that tournament. So prestigious, open only to the world's best players. So yeah, that's a really cool plotline to watch as well.
The difference between number 1 and 2 is so drastic compared to numbers 3 to 8.
Yes, yeah, they are.
In terms of points,
and that reflects how dominant Alcaraz and Sinner have been. They've won.
It's like a 4,000.
Yeah,
well, they're just soaking up all the points.
Well, they've won the last 8 majors between them, and they've played in the last 3 Grand Slam finals. They're hoarding all the biggest titles. So we're waiting to see who that challenger will be.
Hello everyone, I'm just really disappointed to announce that I won't be playing at the Rolex Shanghai Master this year. As you know, I've been struggling physically during this week here, and I just have to withdraw from the tournament that is in Shanghai. I was really looking forward to playing in front of the Shanghai fans that I love playing in front of them last year. So I will be back to recover and be as good as I can as soon as possible. But hopefully playing in front of the Shanghai fans, next year. Looking forward for that. So sorry for having to withdraw.
How happy do we think? Well, obviously Sinner's not happy that his comrade is injured, but this obviously is the exciting component for Sinner. Is that Alcaraz isn't at Shanghai? It's
an opportunity for him to gain ground, and he won this tournament last year, so obviously it's a pretty happy hunting ground for him. Hardcourt's his best surface, but he probably won't want to see a friendly rival be injured and skipping a tournament, because they do love playing each other.
He's probably rubbing his hands together a little bit, right?
I mean, it's kind of like maybe, Fed and Nadal. It was like Sinner's kryptonite is Alcaraz, so it probably he's a little bit relieved. Maybe that's
relieved.
the word.
Good word.
That he doesn't have to probably face him.
And in terms of what Alcaraz just said, length of the season, the amount of tennis he's played, Fitzy, is this the right decision to skip Shanghai?
Well, if his body's not right, it would be. I mean, I'm not across exactly how he's feeling right now, but if he heard it in the first round of Tokyo, got through that tournament. So, look, it's a long season, and you know what? They're going to get to the end of the season. They're not going to have much of a break before the start of the next season.
What do they
here
get,
in
2
Australia?
weeks or something?
They get very little time.
Yeah.
So you need to manage. He's going to have to manage for another 12 or 14 years.
Yeah. If he wants to make up those numbers,
And speaking of that camaraderie and how Sinner wouldn't be rubbing his hands together, as I had suspected that Alcaraz is not playing Shanghai, Sinner did defeat Tien in Beijing. So let's throw to a bit of a video paying tribute to Tien and the champion speech.
I would like to start with Lerner and your whole team. I know you have a great team behind you. You are showing throughout the whole season what talent you are. Just keep going. You're playing an incredible tennis. So I wish you only the best for the rest of the season, and obviously for your whole career. And hopefully we can share some other moments like this in the future.
So Tien, he kind of broke through, I think, at the AO this year.
Yeah.
Tell me, Levi.
Well, he's just such an interesting character, and he beat Medvedev at the AO, and then I was like, okay, I've got to go watch him play. So then I went and watched his next match, and he was so fun to watch because he just always extends these rallies, and they get really long, and so he have these great rallies to watch. And I think the fun thing about him is he's really clever in terms of his tactics, and yeah, he just has this kryptonite against top players. So
especially Medvedev, right? He's coming for him.
especially Medvedev. It seems to be his weakness. But yeah, he has a really great record against top 10 players. Now it's 5-3. It was 5-2 before he played Jannik Sinner. So he's actually gotten the most wins off the top 10 than any other player except for Jannik and Alcaraz. So kind of interesting. And you got to wonder, okay, well, what is Tien doing? So yeah, we took a little bit of a look, and he's playing above his level, like when he plays the top 10, which is maybe there's a little bit of freedom in that. when you're like, okay, I'm playing someone, I don't have anything to hold back. But he's beating his average. And usually you would think if you're playing someone who's in the top 10, some of your stats are going to drop a little bit because they're so good. But it's like his stats actually elevate when he plays them. So it's pretty interesting. He in like rallies that go really long, so over 9, he wins 70% of those rallies when facing top 10 players.
That's incredible for someone who's he's still a teenager, isn't he?
He's, I think, 19, yeah.
Yeah, and hadn't played a top 10 player, I don't think, until this year, maybe. You would imagine the experience or the more runs in the board physically with those top players would outlast the teenager. Yeah. That's staggering.
Yeah, no, it is. And he's got Michael Chang now, came on as a coach and was there in Beijing. So he's got a lot of good support. He's got a great head on his shoulders. But yeah, he's finding his forehand. He's hitting it a little bit faster than he was. A lot of people would describe him maybe as a pusher, as a grinder. But if you watched the final against Sinner, he's actually like really going for his shots. He's finding his serve a little bit more. But yeah, he's just a talented player. And he has this mentality where he converts on break points. So he has like a 48% break point conversion rate versus the tour average is 38. And that's against the top 10. So he's just really good against the top 10. But I don't know. I think time will tell to see, where does Tien go? Because there are some weaknesses to his game, which I think Sinner kind of exposed a little bit. He doesn't have the strongest serve. He's about 20 Ks below the tour average there. So he has some room to improve in terms of his serve speed. So there's some stuff that he needs to work on. His double faults often are higher than his aces. So he could improve, I think, the serve there, but he's 19, so I don't know. I think he has the mentality of someone much older.
Well, I was very impressed with him. I saw the Medvedev match last year, and seems like a ripper young kid too, like a really nice kid.
He's actually really nice. We did some content with him.
Yeah, so he's going to be a great addition to the men's tour. He already is. I find those stats quite amazing that he can perform better against the better players. That's not normal.
No, it's not.
And what that tells you is that, when the big moments arrive, it looks like he's got what it takes. But yeah, he is going to have to continue to improve. And I could see how someone with the power of Sinner might just overpower him a little bit. But under pressure, against Medvedev, that was a classic. A young kid who could stand up to 5 sets late at night under pressure and beat someone who'd been in a couple of Australian Open finals. It was very, very impressive. And so I'm so interested in where he goes over the next sort of, I guess, 24, 36 months.
The first time I saw Tien play was here. He made the junior boys final in 2023. So we got a little, obviously has a very, a good relationship with this tournament. It's carried on into the the men's event. But yeah, I think making a junior Grand Slam final is certainly an indicator of talent. But yeah, seeing that kind of court craftiness at that age, he's got the left-handed advantage, which, that's just built, even if his serve the stats might be down, sometimes that, I'm not sure if the data reflects this, but that disadvantage can be countered by the fact you've got that swinging lefty serve, which there's only 5 to 10% of players that are lefties, so returners don't see that serve all the time. So maybe that is an inbuilt advantage that counters the...
No, he has a great lefty slice out wide, and then he just starts pounding their backhands. Yeah. Right? And then he kind of forces them to go down the line, and he's so quick that he just hits a cross-court backhand, and now they're hitting a running shot. So it's I think it is a little bit of an advantage. The speed's not there, but the slice, I think, like you're saying, can factor in. Yeah.
And from one young up and coming, I want to talk about what caught my eye, which is really the rise or the continued rise of Eva Liss. She has reached the quarterfinal of Beijing, defeating Rybakina, who is obviously a top 10 player also, and has amassed... Look, this is what I'm looking at as well. She has amassed more than 180,000 Instagram followers, and she's rising up to 36,000 on TikTok, which people might think that's not too much, but Eva Liss, 12 months ago to the general populace, people may not have known her. We're going to throw to a little TikTok of her, and then we'll talk a lot about her playing and her tennis. But I thought, let's get into some TikTok.
Excuse me, I love your outfit.
What?
I love your outfit.
Oh, thank you.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a tennis player. I'm actually here for the US Open.
Congrats. What's your name?
Eva Lees.
Okay. What do you like about your job?
A lot. I love the traveling. I love the challenges on court. I mean, I'm always by myself on court, so if I'm winning, I'm winning. If I'm losing, it's also my fault.
You do have an amazing outfit. I do have to say that for sure.
So that's on a Khan_journey Instagram account. He is quite well known for doing these kind of pop-up and feels like he's surprising people, but I'm pretty sure it might be curated, but don't want to be judgmental there. But I suppose I wanted to show that because she is becoming a name we're thinking about a little bit more on the women's side, but also she's bringing out this amazing personality as well. And she's really working social media that we've seen maybe some of the, I don't want to say older, but the more mature women aren't necessarily haven't been using the platforms like this. But she plays Coco Gauff today in the quarterfinal. So listeners out there, you might hear the results before we do and you hear it. Who's going to win then? Fitzy, Matt? Between Coco and Eva Lees.
You'd have to back Coco, wouldn't you?
You would have to back Coco. Yeah, she's the defending champion in Beijing, the world number 3. There's been a lot of discussion on Coco Gauff's, form struggles, and we'll get to this in the episode. She's tinkering with technique, and there are things that are going on for Coco that make it tougher. Lisa's also shown this year when she did break through at the AO, she takes advantage of incredible opportunities. Her story was so good in January because she was a lucky loser that got the call up at the very last minute to go on court for the first round. So I think she, there was only 5 or 10 minutes notice and she was playing, and she kind of translated this into this really inspirational 4th round run and how appreciative she was. And she talked about how transformative the money was that she got because how she can invest that back into her career. And I think people
she didn't even realize how much she was winning, did she?
Well, and then someone presented that to her in an interview and she's like, oh my God, like it blew her mind. And I think her kind of natural openness and sharing her story with fans and then being really present on social media has made her a bit of a fan favorite. She's not just your average, rank and file tour member because there are so many players. But she's continued it on and had great runs. This is her best result at a WTA 1000. And it's just that I think these things kind of create their momentum. More fans discover her when she does well. People respond to that on social media. Her profile grows, and it all just kind of goes hand in hand. She's becoming one of the stars of the game.
Well, and it's shown through her sponsorships as well. She's now working with Porsche, La Roche-Posay, Asics. So something's working for her. But let's flip that on who she's about to play in terms of Coco Gauff. Levi, you've been looking at some data behind that in terms of what caught your eye, right?
So we want to look at what has changed for Coco since last year. And actually the story kind of revolves around maybe a similar struggle that she's had with her serve. So she currently leads the tour in terms of double faults, about 347, which is a lot. And you can even see that by the next person is about 95 double faults behind her. So she just kind of has a lot of double faults. And so obviously she's having some issues with her second serve. She's not being able to have that comfort with it. And that leads to her not being able to really hold her serve that well. And that's why we see these kind of really dramatic matches, because she's having to claw her way back and break them and then find her serve. And so she's going into these, third set matches all the time, which you might not expect her to do given how well she plays. She's done a really good job there. She's 12-2 in terms of her third set record this year. So she has this really incredible mentality. But there's a weakness there on the second serve. But she's taking action on it. So she actually hired a biomechanic expert. So Gavin McMillan.
Did she do that before the US Open, didn't she? Right before.
Right before.
Yeah.
So
which was considered a very surprising move. Yeah. To start tinkering with your strokes 5 days out from a major.
Yeah. I think it probably just, I don't know if anybody has ever had the serving yips, but I had, and it's like
absolutely not. I can't.
Such an uncomfortable feeling to not be able to feel your serve and know if it's gonna go in. It's really difficult.
Oh, I had those feelings, Levi.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago, but
no, please, I want to hear.
What annoys me is I can still remember them vividly. It was terrible, a terrible feeling. If you thought you had a bit of the yips on and you lost your confidence, so that will be really draining for her. So she needs to improve that technique, I think.
Yeah.
Get the serve right for her to fulfill her destiny, so to speak. I think, but she's so good in so many other areas that she'll have most of the players you'd think on the WTA tour covered.
Yeah.
Even without that, but to win the majors, she's probably going to need to get this right.
Yeah. So some things that McMillan, I think, would be looking at, we kind of analyzed the data that we have, and we said, okay, biomechanically, they track the limbs of the different players, so you can see, okay, what looks different. So I try to find a player that serves well and is kind of has a similar height as Coco. So Iga, Coco, both 5'9", or about 175 centimeters. So you can kind of compare apples to apples there. And what you see Iga do is she actually has about 24% more leg drive, as we call it, or basically the speed coming in on her second serve from her legs. How fast is she pushing up? And about 23% more wrist speed on her second serve. So I think Coco's not really accelerating into her shots. Now, how McMillan goes about fixing that, he's the expert there. But he actually worked with Sabalenka, so he's kind of a serve doctor. So hopefully we'll see some real changes there, because I think once she locks in that serve, I mean, it's going to be crazy. So, I mean, if you look at how it's changed so far, she has done a bit better with the 5 matches post having the new coach. But with the kind of most recent performance, you look at the Layla match, she had 9 double faults and really struggled with her serve. So I think it's still there, work in progress, but it's something to look for in terms of improvement, see if that changes as you go into the finals.
And look at what we saw, the turnaround on Sabalenka.
Oh.
Remember?
The turnaround on Sabalenka is I think one of the most underrated stories in sport, because she had service yips that were even worse than Gauff's in 2022 and was like weeping on court. Like it was
really
falling
sad.
apart. And 12 months later, I'll never forget watching her serve out the Australian Open title 12 months later and thinking, like, you've come so far and you're now serving for your first major title, and it's the shot that you're requiring that 12 months ago was causing you so much grief, but it was so much safer, and she managed to do that. And look what she's gone on to do. She's won 4 majors, and that's never really been a problem for Sabalenka again. I think she's mostly put that to bed because her technique is more sure. Also, what you said with the data as well, Coco not getting the leg drive up, it tallies with where the double faults are going. Most of them go into the net, and so she's not getting, I guess that I'm not the biomechanist, but not getting the extension that she needs. And Swiatek's done such a great job of improving her serve in the last year or two. So it is an interesting comparison.
Yeah.
So the quarterfinal action is starting this afternoon. Let's see how Coco's serve goes, and let's see how Liz presents herself on court. We've got more of the tennis coming up after the break, including a preview of the Shanghai Masters from Rhys de Deugd, who is calling in again, and of course my Asian tennis quiz for this week. So stay with us. Time to find out what else is making news in China. Back by popular demand, as was Fitzy, we've got Rhys with a beautiful backdrop there. Tell us where you are, what you're doing. Clearly not working hard enough from the looks of things.
Not working hard enough at all. But I will head into the site shortly, just from my accommodation at the moment here in Shanghai for the Shanghai Rolex Masters, which is a very exciting event. And looking forward to it as the seas will get underway in the coming days. And we've had first round action kick off yesterday.
How's it all feeling over there, Rhys? You were telling us off air that it is China's, I think, national holiday week over there, and there's a pretty good energy at the tournament in Shanghai.
It's been crazy, Matt. I went out last night to the Buns just to walk around, and there is just thousands of people everywhere. It was their main Golden Week National Day holiday yesterday, and then they'll have the whole week traveling around with their National Holiday Week. And it has just been, it was hectic. It was pretty hard to get anywhere, but a great atmosphere, great vibe, and so is the Shanghai Masters. They look forward to this tournament for a long time. There's activations everywhere in the city where you can watch tennis on the big screens, and some big names that they love involved as well.
And so in terms of some of those big names you're just talking about, I know Djokovic is very loved in China, and he wasn't yet sure whether he was going to play Shanghai. So what's the energy around that, knowing he is there?
Yeah, they absolutely love him here. He is like adored by the Chinese people. And he was like you said, no one really knows what events Novak's going to play, and he was a really last minute inclusion. I loved how they announced it too on social media, they had their poster with all the players, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we forgot someone," and then they put Novak smack bang in the middle, nice and big, on their official tournament
No offense,
poster.
everyone else.
But he is the star attraction.
Yeah.
He came into the site the last couple of days, and he's speaking Chinese to all the locals, and they just absolutely love him.
Yeah, so good.
And he obviously made the final here last year, where he was against Sinner. On the same half of the draw as Sinner this time round, but those two will certainly be favourites to square off in the semi-final again.
What about the venue up there in Shanghai? I mean, it's, I was up there a long time ago, over a decade ago, and it was pretty staggering then, but obviously it's needed some upgrades, I guess. What have they done in recent times up there?
Yeah, like you say, Fitzy, it's absolutely staggering just how big the site is. Like, it's Grand Slam levels. I don't know what the actual dimensions are, but it feels bigger than like what Wimbledon is. They have massive stadium courts with retractable roofs, and their Stadium 2 court, just in the last 12 months, they've added a roof to that one as well. So handy, because they've had a lot of rain here in the qualies and everything, so they've needed the roof stadiums to get through. But yeah, just things happen so quickly here with builds in China that they just popped up a roof 12 months on, and it's there, and they've got this massive stadium with a roof on it now.
That would be a scheduling dream if there's more courts with
Absolutely.
roofs, right?
For sure.
And we've got a lot of Aussies over there, yeah?
Yeah, we do. It's not as record breaking as I mentioned last week with the women at the 1,000 event in Beijing. We only had the one qualifier with Tristan Schoolgate, who lost yesterday to Daniel Altmaier. Adam Walton also lost yesterday, but Jordan Thompson got up in 3 sets to August Holmgren. He was looking in a little bit of trouble early, but he got through. So he's the first qualifier. He's the first player in the main draw to join Demon in the second round. Chris O'Connell will play today, and obviously Demon coming off some great form with a great run in Beijing and a career best performance against Jannik Sinner. He's on the Alcaraz half of the draw, and with Alcaraz pulling out now, there's a great opportunity for Demon. So watch out. He's had a busy schedule, but he's in some great form as well on these hard courts.
And how's Jordan Thompson's back injury looking from your point of view?
Yeah, well, it held up okay yesterday.
Yeah.
He was ticking along. I don't think he's still 100%.
Yeah.
But as we know, Tomo, he's as tough as anything, and he fights through. He knows his body better than anyone else, so we'll trust him that he's making the right decisions.
Brie, have you been worried about Tomo by any chance, or?
I'm always worried about him, obviously.
bit of a fan.
Do you know Luke Saville told him that I'm a fan, and so now I'm just horrendously embarrassed. So I don't think he listens to the pod, so I'm fine.
Why should Tomo be the only person in Melbourne that doesn't know?
Oh, it's so awkward. Before we say goodbye to you, Rhys, any other top tips or things that are happening over there that we should know about and our listeners?
Yeah, well, just get yourself out to explore if you're around in Shanghai, coming to the Shanghai Masters. There's a lot of expats living in Shanghai that have been out to the tennis, and they've had a great event. It is a long way out from the city, so be prepared for a decent travel journey. But even if you are in the city, there's plenty of pop-ups, activations, places to watch on big screens, and it's just the general vibe of their national holiday week has just been great in Shanghai. So it's an event that I'd recommend putting on the bucket list for any tennis fan as well.
Hey, how good are the bullet trains, Rhys?
Yeah, I got to Shanghai in about 4 hours from Beijing.
That's so good.
Instead of
made
flying.
it in time to watch the second half of the AFL Grand Final and watch the Lions get up. And there was an Aussie brewery in Shanghai that I watched it with, and met a bunch of Australians. It was a great day.
I'm slightly worried you're not working hard enough.
I missed the Grand Final. Yeah, well, that was a travel day off.
I'm joking. You work hard all the time. You may have your fun.
I'm joking too.
Yeah. Well, we will say goodbye to you and wish you luck in your last day working on the ground there in Shanghai. And we'll see you back here probably in the studio, I think, in the coming weeks as well. Next week.
Thanks, Brie. Thanks, everyone.
It was so nice to see Rhys. We all are in our team ready for him to come home because there's plenty of work to get done here, mate. So get on back. But what else has been happening in tennis world, Matt?
Well, yeah, there's the news that Gael Monfils has announced he will play his final season on tour next year. And he'll be turning 40 next September, so it will bring to a close an incredibly long, a 22-year professional career that began in 2004. Monfils is a legend of the sport, such a fan favourite, plays tennis in a way that I think is kind of like unseen before. The athleticism, his shot making ability, the way he engages with crowds.
He's dancing.
There's so many elements of his personality and his game that make him so watchable. And even this year at the AO, he upset Taylor Fritz and he made it through to the 4th round of the AO at age 38. He, in the last couple of years, has won some incredible 5-set matches at Roland Garros in front of the fans in Paris.
Yeah.
These are just these incredible things that I guess he's playing for these those feelings, those highs.
Yeah.
He might not be at the absolute peak of his career. I think he got to number 6 in the world a little while ago and has made a couple of Grand Slam semi-finals, so he's not maybe quite at that level. But when he's healthy and fit and motivated, which he is at the moment for the most part, he can still play and beat the world's best players. So it's going to be a real loss from the sport when he goes. But it's great, I guess, that we know we've got another year to know. Like, go and see him one last time if you can, wherever you are in the world, because it's the end of a very special career.
Yeah, I think if anyone's in Paris when he's playing,
you
have to go there, and I think it'll be a sight to see when they send him off.
Yeah,
because the French are very good at celebrating their players. I was lucky enough to see Tsonga's last match, and just the everything that they do for the player on court. They bring out all the French nationals, and so I think that would be a very cool thing to see. Shout out to anyone there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I agree. He's been such an entertainer, a very unique individual on a tennis court. And, gee, what an athlete he's been. You just can't recover. The older you get, you can still play one really great match. Here at the Australian Open was probably testament to that. He got through a couple of matches, 3 matches in fact, but just ran out of gas because you just cannot recover the same as you get older. I don't know. It looks like he's going on a retirement tour. He's announced it early, hasn't he?
Do you think that was the strategy, Fitzy?
I think, well, who knows? I can't speak
4
for him.
4
but
big parties with a whole lot of little parties in between.
There could be gifts. There could be all sorts of celebrations every week he plays. But he deserves a good send-off. He's been a wonderful addition, I think, to our sport over 2 decades.
Yeah. It's going to be. What do you think his legacy will be?
Well, I think that he's been the entertainer.
The character.
There's 8 years difference between when he made a semi-final at the French Open and then a semi-final at the US Open. It's an interesting stat in itself. Longevity speaks a lot for a player, but I think it's hard to not remember him almost first and foremost as the entertainer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard not to imagine him as that.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the shots that Alcaraz is hitting now, and it's like Gail was hitting those shots 20 years ago or whatever. But so I think he is the entertainer for sure.
And then on the flip side, we have some other news. In fact, that Garbine Muguruza has announced her pregnancy, which is exciting.
That is exciting. I mean, her career probably ended a little sooner than your average career does these days. I think she retired by 29 or 30, and back in the day, that wasn't unusual. But now we see how long careers extend. She wound up her career a little bit sooner, but Viv and I were actually very lucky to have her on the sit down a couple of months ago, and she talked about has really enjoyed kind of transitioning into retired life. She being a pro tennis player and being so successful from such a young age meant that she missed all those normal things. She talked about how much she liked being at home cooking and gardening and doing those kinds of regular, like, domestic everyday life things and going at a bit of a slower pace. She is still connected with tennis. She is the WTA Finals tournament director and does done a bit of commentary and stuff there. But she got married and I guess this is the next step in her post-tennis, slower life post-career. That she'll become a mum, which is really lovely.
It is. So congrats to Muguruza. We are thinking of you and good luck. But we're going to dip into my favourite part of the shows when we do it, the quiz. We've got a quiz.
Love your quizzes.
We tried to do this quiz last week and we realised it was factually incorrect. So we're doing it again this week. We cut it out last week. So is everyone ready? We're going to run it off. I'll do the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just say your name as your buzzer, and we'll see who wins.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. 1. Where's my number 1? There we go. 1. So, which ATP Asian host city is known for its futuristic skyline and the Pearl Tower?
Is that Shanghai?
Yes. It was so easy. It even says here. This question's
Because
easy.
it was from last week. That's why it's Shanghai now.
Pearl Tower.
Okay, number 2, we've got multiple choice. This is also ranked as easy, so hopefully you guys can get it. Who is the only player to have won the Shanghai Masters more than once?
Fitzy.
Go.
Roger.
No.
Matt,
Yep.
is it Djokovic?
Yes.
Yay.
Can't believe Matt got me on.
Bad luck.
And you know
And
what?
I used my buzzer correctly this time.
If this was last week, we could have said maybe you were right because we weren't sure because nothing was factually checked. But now we have.
You sure you didn't get this one wrong as well?
So it's 2 to you, Matt,
Yeah.
in scoring. Okay.
Good, mate.
Well, one legitimate one and one cheating one, but yeah.
Did you cheat?
Well, no, apparently I just didn't follow the order. Like, I didn't do my buzzer correctly.
Oh.
I'll
fine.
give it to you. Okay, 3. This is a medium. What surface and colour is used for the China Open in Beijing?
Levi, hard court and blue.
Well done.
Is it
This is too
Did he
easy.
get 2 points for that?
Sure.
All right, I'm
Make it
tied.
the
Yeah,
points
that's
where we
great.
go 2 all.
All right.
Fitzy, we love you, so we won't make fun of you that you're on 0.
I'm last. Okay.
4.
I think you guys gave me that one.
Which Asian city is also famous for its Sakura festival?
Fitzy.
Go Fitzy.
Tokyo.
Well done.
Thank you.
You're on the
Nice.
board.
Yes.
We've got 3, 1, 2.
One maybe. but-
Matt's 3. You're 2, Levi.
Do you know what sakura means?
No.
What does it mean?
I think it means like flower or like cherry
I
blossom.
thought it was an alcoholic drink.
cherry.
Oh,
cherry.
cherry
I think
blossom.
that's sake.
Tokyo's on the bucket list. I'd love to go there.
Okay, next one. Which Southeast Asian country and former ATP and WTA host nation is known for its national dish called nasi lemak?
Matt,
Yes?
was it country or city?
Country.
Malaysia?
Yes.
Well
Oh,
done, mate.
nice
Well
job,
done.
Matt.
I would have gone for
was gonna
like
say Indonesia.
Indonesian. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember an ATP
I also
tournament.
think
Yeah,
they
yeah.
probably have quite a lot of dishes that they have in both countries as
Yeah.
well that
Yeah.
overlap. So, Matt, that makes you the winner.
I think
Congratulations.
that's the first time I've won a quiz on here.
Nice job, Matt.
Do you know
good.
why I asked the questions? Because I'm not good at the
Yeah.
answers.
That's fair.
Well done,
This
Matt.
is the advantage of being the host.
Thanks for humouring me with another quiz, all of you. But we're going to get into Ace of the Week, which is everyone's favourite time of the week. Do we have anyone who would like to bid on going first?
I can go first. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I rented a car and went out to Warburton,
Congratulations.
which was kind of a fun thing, driving
is
on the
that?
left side. It's northeast of Melbourne,
Great.
kind of out there in the mountains or hills, but really pretty out there. The Yarra goes all the way up there. And so, yeah, it's just a really nice area. And there's like a little rainforest canopy thing you can go on a little hike.
Love.
So definitely would recommend anyone visiting Melbourne to go out and check out Warburton.
Fantastic. And I've just realised the serve clock is up. So you did that really well with 10
very
seconds
efficient.
left. So Fitzy, you haven't been here for a couple of weeks. We now have a serve clock,
Okay.
which gives us...
This is to get on and off quickly.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
I
So
get it.
over to you,
I
Ace
get
of
it.
the
That's
Week.
a very polite way to tell me to be short. This morning I was delighted. I went over to the Australian Tennis Championships, the opening. In fact, I had the pleasure of opening the Australian Tennis Championships for players with intellectual impairment. There were 60 players there. It brought a warm and fuzzy feeling. It was a freezing morning, but they're over there as we speak, playing, competing. We've got some of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
They've had great success on the world stage, and they probably will again this year. So that made my day.
Yeah. Some on my team were there too, and they said it was just amazing. So good. Oh my God.
Oh, well done.
Look at you.
Very
You
good.
did that exactly
Very
on 30
efficiently.
seconds.
Yep, no time violation.
Good with the serve clock.
Perfect. Thank you.
Matt.
I guess mine is a little tennis related, but during COVID I really got into reading like tennis books. Famous tennis novels, and one I picked up while I was at the US Open this year was Levels of the Game. So it goes into this detail of the match between Arthur Ashe and Clark Grabner at the US Open. It was written in like 1969, and it's meant to be like one of the best ever tennis books. So I've just started it, and it's wonderful.
What's it called?
Levels of the Game.
Okay.
So yeah, that's I'm really enjoying getting back into my tennis reading.
I love that. Wow. I love how much you are so in love with tennis.
I'm building I've got a little shelf that's my tennis book shelf.
Oh my God, I love that.
Do you know much about Arthur Ashe's career?
No, I'm learning masses in this.
He'll be a hero by the time you finish.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So yeah, it's really, really, really interesting.
Great.
Yeah.
We'll have to get you to review it when you're done.
All right.
And over to me, I suppose, for Ace of the Week. I've kind of got two because one is, oh God, the clock. I always forget about the clock. Firstly, Taylor Swift, her next album lands tomorrow at 2 p.m. I know you're all excited. So that's my first one. I cannot wait. The second one is my girlfriends and I are driving to Geelong on Friday night just to have a girls' weekend because they all know that I'm about to be consumed by the Australian Open. So we're just going away for a little time together to have a little break before the Australian Open.
That's awesome.
3 seconds to go.
Well done.
Had to get Taylor in there as well, though. Yeah. So,
Nice.
heading to Geelong, which will be lovely.
It's nice down there.
I actually really rate Geelong.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was down there yesterday.
How was it?
The ocean front there, the waterfront.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's really nice.
I'm from Newcastle, and when I go there, it kind of reminds me of being back home.
Yeah.
Because there's more ocean close by, which
Yeah.
I really miss here in Melbourne. But that really does wrap us up for the week. I want to thank you, Fitzy, for coming in.
Thank you, Brie.
And also
Thank
for
you.
your amazing work today with the ATC.
Thank you for having me.
We loved it. We love seeing you. And also, Levi, always a pleasure to have you. Obviously, your brain, your data, your insights, and your American accent. So we...
And your good looks, Levi.
Oh, you guys have been way too generous here.
Sexual harassment training will come and get me. But yes, and your good looks. And that, obviously, I would sit next to you every day of the week and love having you here. Love listening to you on the sit down. So thank you for filling in for Zave while he is away.
You're welcome. And shameless plug, we have Priscilla Hon on Monday's episode of The Sit Down. Fantastic timing to talk to her given what she's been achieving and making her top 100 debut next week. So we had a really good chat with her.
That's
about to see
amazing.
her best tennis.
Yes.
We are.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And while we are on that topic, if you are wanting to watch more tennis, and obviously for those who are really big tennis nuts, Tennis Australia have partnered with BN Sports, so you can watch all the ATP and WTA Tour as well as our very own Aussie Pro Tour and Junior Nationals. If you subscribe now, you can get all this for less than $10 a month with our exclusive Tennis Australia offer, which is actually amazing. So please head to the link in our show notes if you're keen to watch Priscilla Hon, for example.
Fantastic.
Head on over. But thank you all for being here. Keep watching tennis. Keep listening to us. We'll be back next week. And thank you.
Hey everyone, Harps and Andy here. Just want to remind you that you can watch every episode of The Tennis on our YouTube channel, Australian Open TV.
And we have an email as well, podcast@tennis.com.au. If you thought the show was amazing or you thought it was terrible, we are keen to hear from you. We'll read it. So feedback, comments, whatever it is, get in touch with us at our email and we'll catch you on the next one.
Catch you later.